Hi everyone. I wanted to share something that I have shared previously in the past, but feels like a fitting reminder. Um, in the community I was part of, or have been part of, Three Principles community, they often talk about how thought creates feeling. And I'll be honest, it was something that never quite sat right with me because it didn't look to me like it was just our thinking that was creating a feeling within us. And I actually started to see it differently. I started to see, well, my thinking creates an experience of the feelings I'm having or the world that I'm in. Um, but I'm not sure that my thought or my thinking is creating my feelings, at least all the time. It didn't look to me like that was the full picture. And I wanted to kind of just get people reflecting on that because I think this causes people a lot of trouble. Not only because they think, oh, well, if I'm feeling a certain way, then it must be my thinking, but they also then start thinking, well, how do I change the way I feel and what do I do about my thinking? And it can make you really busy. And the reason I wanted to share this is because I just want to get people reflective, right? I'm not saying there's an answer here or that I have the right answer, but I do think it's worthy of reflection. We are living in a world at the moment where, you know, many of us might know people who are living in some anxiety. They're worrying about, the cost of living and how much they're going to be able to afford and whether they can afford what they need to. There's so much change and uncertainty. And whenever there is that change and uncertainty, as I think I've shared in other videos, like there's going to be some anxiety, like because our perceptions of how we think the world is are constantly being challenged, and the world is often not looking the way we think it should. And so there's a degree of anxiety that arises within all of us whenever that happens. But if you multiply that out across the collective, like there's probably a lot more of that on some level because of the rate of change and because things are not looking the way people perhaps perceive the way they perhaps perceive they should look. So why am I sharing this? Well, in some ways, if you're feeling more anxiety than perhaps you have, even if you haven't got a lot of thinking about your life, like I wonder if human beings can actually tune in to that collective vibe, right? To me, it looks like they can, right? On a simple level, we can walk into a place and we can immediately tune in to a vibration. We're vibrational beings, and our heart, we are one consciousness from what I can see. So it isn't out of the realm of possibility for me to think that when we aren't in our own noisy thinking, our own ego, our own sense of self, that we can begin to tune into something that might be bigger than just our own individual experience. And we might feel that. So if you've been experiencing more anxiety or discomfort lately, and you're going, well, yeah, but I'm not really thinking about anything in particular that would be creating that feeling. Well, what if it's a bigger thing than that? What if actually we can tune into a vibration and we can start to feel more than just our own individual thinking? Um, Something to reflect on. Like I say, I'm not criticizing what I learned because I know a lot of people found that teaching really helpful. It just never it didn't sit right for me because it always felt like there was a bigger answer to it. Um, and like I said, I always felt like my thinking could create an experience of my feelings or my world, but it always felt like there was a bit more to it than just that. Well, what if actually, with all that's going on in the world, all the change, all the uncertainty, that's triggering a more collective anxiety in people, and some of us are actually able to tune into that. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you don't feel it anymore or you get rid of it. um, you can understand it. You can see why it's there. You can see the safety of that experience. That is another thing I learned from the principles community. The old Sid Banks quote, if the only thing that people learned was not to be afraid of their experience, that alone would change the world. So much of what we do is about fighting our experience and trying to fix it. Well, what if we could just understand the nature of it? What if we could start to see the safety of our experience such that we don't need to actually do something with it? Um, but anyway, just something to reflect on today. I hope it's helpful, and feel free, share your comments below. Let me know what you make of this and if it's helpful or not. And yeah, I hope you have a good day and sending lots of love. Take care. Bye.